How to define scope and limitation of your study.
Guide says focus your topic. Brain says how. Don't panic. Let's crack the scope and limitation together.
Hi, this is Kenfra Research, here to make your PhD journey smoother and stress-free. Whether you are doing your PhD or just starting your research journey, you are at the right place. In today's video, we will talk about something that many scholars struggle with. That's how to define scope and limitation of your study. Getting this part right can make your journey clear, sharper, and more professional.
Escape reality.
What is scope? When you begin a research project, you can't study everything. You must decide what to include and what to leave out. That boundary is called scope. Scope means the extent of your study. It describes the depth and coverage of your research. It defines what your research will explore and how far it will go. Let's imagine you are studying the impact of digital learning. You can't include every student in the world or every online platforms or all education systems. So you choose one group like college students in India during the pandemic. That choice sets the scope of your research. It's like drawing a frame around your topic. Inside the frame is your study, outside the frame that's not your concern.
Why scope matters? Having a clear scope helps in multiple ways. First, it keeps your research manageable. Second, it informs your readers that your study is well structured. Without boundaries, your work can become too broad and confusing. Reviewers and examiners immediately understand what to expect and what to not expect. And most importantly, it saves you time, efforts, and resources. You avoid collecting unnecessary data and chasing irrelevant ideas.
How to define your scope? Defining scope requires thoughtful decision. Think about the central theme of your research and find out what exactly you are trying to explore. Now ask yourself which population or group is involved. What setting or region are you focusing on? Are you studying a particular time period or trend? What kind of data or methodology are you using? A good scope is usually in one paragraph, written in past or present tense depending on your format.
What are limitations? Now let's talk about limitations, a most important but often misunderstood part of the research. Limitations are the challenges or constraints you face during the study. These are conditions that might affect accuracy or depth of your findings. For example, maybe your sample was too small due to time limits, or you couldn't reach your participants due to travel issues. These are few limitations. Importantly, admitting your limitations does not make your study weak. It makes it honest. Mentioning what your study couldn't do helps readers understand what your result better.
Types of common limitation. Here are some common types of limitation you might face. Time, sample size, access, method, bias. You might face limits like not enough time, few participants, limited access, online only surveys or biased answers, and these are totally normal. What matters is that you explain them clearly.
Key difference between scope and limitations. Let's quickly review the difference between scope and limitations. Scope is what your research covers. It's your decision. Limitations are what your research cannot cover. They arise from constraints. Scope shows your focus and limitation shows your boundaries. Both are essential for your research to build trustworthy.
Before we wrap up, here are some final tips. Keep both sections short and clear, usually under one page. Define your scope early. Note down the limitation. Never ignore them. Stay professional.
We hope this guide helped you understand how to define scope and limitation for your study with confidence and clarity. If you find this video useful, hit like, subscribe and click the bell icon to stay updated. Thanks for watching.